What's going on, guys? It's Rodrigo, founder with another episode of Asheville Real Estate News. Really excited to bring you guys a really exciting topic surrounding mobile homes today. And also, as a reminder, before we jump into the mobile home park component, hope to see you all at our next meetup. You can find the details of when and where we meet at the meetups. We do these monthly, first Monday of every month. If you go to our website, avlrealestatenews.com, or just get plugged into any of our social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. We try to be anywhere that you all are hanging out. And also, last quick reminder, please go to iTunes, give us a rating. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what you think of the show, so that way we know that we're providing content and information that's important to you and that you find helpful and at least interesting for sure. So today, Bryce, thank you so much for joining us.
G'day, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I know when we first met, you've bounced around the world, traveled, I think you said like 50 some countries. You're from Australia. You've done the real estate thing. How would you do your like 30-second synopsis of your life to this point?
Wow, I suppose I traveled the world for about 6 years, went to about 50 countries, realized some opportunities in different areas, and then I ended up in America. My wife comes from here. Was looking for an opportunity, and I stumbled over mobile home parks. And when I first purchased my first mobile home park, I had a net worth of negative $50,000 and about $2,000 in the bank. And I managed to purchase that and then keep going. And now I've become financially free from mobile home parks. And I really think it's an amazing opportunity in America today.
Yeah, well, that's quite the storyline. That's really exciting too. I mean, that's a big transformation from negative 50,000 net worth, $2,000 in the bank, and then all the way into, you know, because you teach and stuff too, right? So you've got quite the success run there. Before we even talk about the real estate side, personally, I love traveling. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of the reasons I got into real estate. So I could travel. Okay. And I know in conversations we've had that there's a shared component that we share there. So do you want to maybe explain your thought process around that?
About traveling generally?
Yeah, and like how that marries well with real estate.
I really feel that, you know, I'm really passionate to travel. I want to see what is out there in the world and experience everything that we can experience on planet Earth. And traveling is a really good way to do that. I love getting outdoors and outdoor adventures and a lot of action. And real estate has been the catalyst to enable me to do that. Now I can travel all over the world, and the income coming in from my real estate allows me to actually run my business from anywhere in the entire world. With the technology that we have today, all I need is my computer and my cell phone, and I can travel and enjoy myself. And really, for me, you know, making money is a great thing. It's great to have money in the bank, but what it really means to me is freedom. And the way I convert, or way I translate my freedom is traveling all over the place and enjoying myself.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to take advantage of that freedom.
Yeah.
When was the connection that you made between real estate, freedom, travel?
I think I actually realized that when I was doing it wrong in the beginning. You see, when I first traveled around the world for 6 years, I would travel and then I would run out of money, and then I would stop and I'd create more money, and then I'd travel. And the thing is my money kept running out. So when I landed in America, I wanted to find out, how can I recreate this lifestyle of being able to travel, but my money doesn't run out. And I've been able to do that through mobile home park investing.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What were you doing when you were traveling, and was there any correlation, you know, when you came back to build up the fund, to what you're doing now in real estate?
So the main source of my income when I was traveling was construction. I worked in the construction industry and had construction businesses as well. Didn't really enjoy what I was doing. It was kind of painful, but I knew that it would enable me to be able to travel. So when I got to America, I wanted to see, how can I convert what I already know into you know, something that creates passive income. And with at that time I had a 17-year background in construction and construction management, and that was easy to translate and use those skills in real estate investing, and especially in mobile home parks.
Yeah, so you came back, you know, right before you started investing in real estate, you came back that time and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? How did you decide to do real estate and then mobile home parks specifically?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, my wife and I just said, right, there's 3 ways that you can make money, you know, big time. One of them is in the stock market. Another one is through having a business, and the third one's through real estate. So we explored all of those options. We explored, you know, foreign exchange and a lot of different methods on the stock market. We went to a lot of training courses, went to a ton of real estate events, and we even got into multi-level marketing and tried our, dipped our toes in a few different businesses, and real estate really connected to us. It's just, it really made sense that real estate was the way we were gonna go.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a similar, didn't go as much in depth into other things, but I definitely, I almost got into selling insurance and different things like that as well, trying to find the thing. What was there something about real estate, or what was the moment that it clicked where you're like, oh wow, this is it, this is what we're gonna go all in on?
There's just so much real estate everywhere, and there's, you know, no matter what your personality type or skill set is, there's so many different asset classes or ways to make money or different types of real estate that really it's kind of choose something that fits your personality. And it's, you know, equity, cash flow, tax deductions, and, you know, no matter what happens with any economy, everybody needs a place to stay, work, and whatnot. So real estate for us was just like, it was probably lower risk too compared to a lot of the other, you know, the stock market could blow up overnight and you could lose all your money. So
it's happened before.
It has, yeah.
So when you made that decision, you're like, okay, we're going all in on real estate. Was the mobile home parks kind of simultaneous, or did you decide real estate and then decide mobile home parks?
Yeah, I decided real estate and then mobile home parks. I actually started off, you know, fixing and flipping and that sort of thing. And then I was talking to my mother-in-law, who was living in a mobile home at the time. She paid it off, and she was telling me the story how she paid it off. And I said, oh, that's great, you've paid it off, you own your home, fantastic. She said, yeah, well, I own it, but I still have to pay $1,000 a month in lot rent. That was in a mobile home park in California. I'm like, why? And she says, well, the home's parked here and I have to pay the landlord $1,000 a month to have my home parked here. So I ran out the front of the home and I counted all of the homes in the community, and there was over 100.
And you were like, that's you just did the math.
Yeah, $100,000 a month by owning that land. I mean, where do I sign up? And that was really what got me into mobile home parks.
Yeah, I can see that being a pretty light bulb moment, right?
Yeah.
When you were getting into it and you started researching, in my experience, there's a lot of opposition in mobile homes. And, you know, obviously if you're in the mobile home community, you're not going to find that. But people haven't either invested in mobile homes, or even just the general public, when they think of mobile homes, the image or the thoughts are not typically super favorable. Have you encountered that when you were doing that? And what do you say to the people who don't think mobile homes are good to either invest in or good to be part of the community?
Well, I think anybody who just goes online now and Googles mobile home park investing, you'll soon find that there's a lot of proven appreciation for it. I think that what you're saying may have been even more true 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, but it's proven that mobile home parks have been really successful investment models. And now we've got financing on our side. There's a lot of great financing options. We've got Section 8 is even in place where you can purchase a mobile home. We're using Section 8 right now. We've got Fannie and Freddie programs that are involved in the mobile home park investing space. Warren Buffett has been involved in the purchase of Clayton Homes and transforming the mobile home financing section as well. So I think at this point, everybody's on board to say this is really a good investment. And you know, I suppose there has been some bad like images of you know, what is it, Jerry Springer and trailer parks and all that sort of stuff. But you know, people like myself have been coming in over the last, you know, 5-10 years and cleaning up these communities. And so now, you know, mobile home parks are actually a very cleaned up industry and looking pretty good.
in Asheville, there's obviously a big conversation around affordable housing and how does somebody live here and whatnot. I personally think that mobile homes and single wides, double wides, etc., are a really good piece to that puzzle. Have you? I know you haven't been here that long, but have you seen that? And what's your opinion on that, and just in other communities that you've invested in?
I mean, I think generally in a nationwide, there's a massive housing problem with affordable housing. There's way too many people that need affordable housing, and there's not enough affordable housing. There's actually a decline in mobile home park inventory, a 1% decline each year.
Oh, wow.
Because they're closing down more parks than cities are allowing them to open. Even here, there's not, I mean, do you know of any mobile home parks that are being developed?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any that have been recent. Most of the ones that I'm aware of are ones that, they might have been quote unquote like revamped, like they've been existent and they've had like facelifts and things like that. But as far as 100% new ones, I can't think of any, and I can't say I've heard of any.
And the cities don't really want that to happen.
They don't encourage it.
They don't encourage it. They're going to choose, all right, what are we going to do? Well, let's put a high-rise building there instead of a mobile home park, and that's sort of been the choice. So really we're dealing with a limited inventory of mobile home parks and just in a massive abundance of people that need to stay in that price point of housing. So really there's just a gigantic need, and if you purchase a mobile home park in the right market, your phone should be ringing off the hook because there's just not enough housing at that price point.
100% agree with that. Yeah, that is I think when you do it right, and I know that you do, but you create a good structure, a good community, put a good product out on the market, overall it's going to make everybody around that park and people who live in that park, everybody's style of living and appreciation of the property, etc., goes up. What is the biggest question that you hear from people who might not be investors but are the neighbors or the community? Like, another mobile home park, or what value do you bring when you buy a park to make people excited that the park is there versus maybe tentative or frustrated that it exists?
I think the first thing we do is really go in and clean the place up. It's all about the tenant's pride of ownership, and we lead that by example. So we'll go in there and we'll clean up the grounds, we'll get some good marketing signs out the front there, make sure that everything's clean along the front, and then work on the homes that we own to improve the exterior, keep the yards clean, and then we do that, we push that on to the tenants for them to do it as well, and we make sure that they upkeep their yards, that they're following all the rules and being law-abiding citizens. And we work with the cities, we work with the health department, the county, the city, and the state, and they all, once they see what we've been doing, at least for the first 6 months, they're like, hey, these guys are really turning things around and improving things. And what we usually see is a lot of help. Cities want to work with us, counties want to work with us, states want to work with us, and once the authorities see that, hey, this is what we're doing, and the neighbors, they'll even call up our corporate office and say, hey, we really like what you guys have been doing there.
That's awesome. I'm sure it's a kind of a good, feels good that, knowing that the work that's being put in is appreciated and it is adding the value that you're hoping for. On the investment side of things, I know you teach and you're going to be teaching a class about that. Could you give us the quick, 60-second spiel as far as why mobile home parks as an investment are good outside of the cash flow? Like maybe some of the stuff that you wouldn't see on the surface.
Okay, I mean, we've talked about there's really good financing options. There's a lot of attention to it, so there's a lot of investors that want to invest in mobile home parks. Cap rates are very attractive, so compared to other types of real estate comparably, cap rates are better, which means higher returns. There's also some really good tax benefits with accelerated depreciation. Most people think that when you get a mobile home park, it's just land, but on that land there's a lot of improvements. We've got roads and and home pads, utilities and meters, and a whole lot of infrastructure there that from a tax perspective can be depreciated quite quickly.
Okay.
And the average of depreciation when you spread out all those different items is about 15 to 17 years, which is a lot quicker than other residential real estate and also commercial real estate.
Right.
I think the best thing about mobile home parks is the fact that as a mobile home park owner, we can have a park with vacant spaces, and then we can bring in homes to fill up those vacant spaces. Now with some of the programs that are out there, we can almost do that for free, if not a couple of $1,000s per lot. And each time we do that, we increase the value of that mobile home park by about $22,000 to $30,000 per lot, depending on what the lot rent is.
Wow. And
times that by 20 spaces or 50 spaces, we can create an abundance of equity. So there's really a lot of room for the right person to go in there and put all this effort to coordinate all that and put it together and dramatically increase the value of mobile home parks.
Those are some big numbers as far as 20, 50 spaces and a lot of moving pieces. I know you're going to be going over that. I'd love for you to kind of give a little bit of insight on the class that you're going to be teaching and why somebody shouldn't be overwhelmed by the thought process of starting to jump through those hoops.
Sure. Really, mobile home parks are quite simple when you break them down. You just got to understand the little nuances about mobile home parks, and then really, when you're talking about management of a mobile home park, funnily enough, it takes about the same effort to manage a 20 space mobile home park as what it does to manage a 200 space mobile home park. Okay. So I think it's really just a psychological thing to get over the extra zero maybe, or the larger numbers. But really, once you've got your systems in place, it's really quite easy to manage and manage from far as well. Okay. As far as the actual event itself, I'm hosting a 2-day event. It's in Asheville. It's at the Hilton Hotel on August 18th and 19th. Okay. It's going to be a full 2-day event where we're learning everything from how to find a mobile home park, put it under contract, due diligence, takeover, management, everything from the start to the finish of purchasing a mobile home park, selling a mobile home park, and everything in between. For CREA members, CREA is a local real estate investment group. If you're a member of CREA, you're going to be able to get those tickets for $198 per person. And for non-CREA members, it's $248 per person. Okay. So if you would like to sign up, go to creanc.org. Cool. And you can sign up through that.
And we'll include the link obviously in the notes below and whatnot, so people can find it easy and whatnot. I know personally I'm excited about it. I think as I mentioned a couple of times today, I think mobile homes are a really good and important piece of the puzzle when it comes to housing.
Excellent.
And that's how I got first started. The first anything real estate I bought was a mobile home. It ended up being a terrible experience because I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I just want to do something and not be, one of those people who goes to the courses, purchases the books, etc., and then never, doesn't take action per se. And so I started with one small single wide in a park that I probably did everything wrong on that. So it would have been a lot more helpful for me to start in a course than just kind of, going in blind or whatnot. So
what a great place to start, though. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and it is. It was a lot easier to learn a lot of those lessons on a purchase that cost me like $2,000 versus a house that would have costed me, 40, 50, 70, whatever the cost is. So,
and you'd learn all the same lessons.
Yeah, I got the ball rolling. So
awesome.
Yeah. Well, Bryce, definitely looking forward to seeing you in August at the event. Thanks so much for coming on the show and giving us some of the insights and behind the scenes that has to do with mobile homes.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. There you have it, guys. Mobile home parks, the ins and outs. Obviously, we just touched the surface on this. So if you want more, don't forget to go to the event. We'll include that in the show notes. Hope to see you all there. We'll be there taking notes beside everybody else, and just excited to keep expanding the knowledge in that arena of real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Let us know how we're doing and look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care.